Hello, esteemed viewer. This is Zoom in Africa, the Monday segment. You know, Monday is such a serious day that there's no other way other than starting it on a business tone. And this is Meet the CEO. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Henry Maina.
Well, and my name is Florence Ndongo. Indeed, thank you so much for keeping us company. It's on Monday, which means your weekly dose of Zoom in Africa has just started. And let me tell you, this is one of the shows that not only shows you how other people have made it, but actually gives you the zeal, motivates you to actually be a CEO. And today it's no different. I'm telling you, today's story is so inspiring. And that is why you should stay put for the next 50 minutes as we tell you all about a CEO who is on set with us tonight.
Yes, and I know in different fields, A stands for animal or kind of apple, but today it is A for A+ motors, and that is what we are going to be looking today as we look at motor industry, a business which is one of the world's most important economic sectors by revenue. This may involve a local distribution business that sells new or used cars at the retail level based on a dealership contract with an automaker or its sales subsidiary. It employs automobile salespeople to sell the automotive vehicles, and it may also provide maintenance services for cars and employ automotive technicians to stock and sell spare part automobile parts and process warranty claims.
Now, this is exactly what James Mwangi Muturi is doing to make a living. Having finished his Form 4 A-level in 1994, the aspiring Mwangi ventured into the cloth business with a starting capital of 1,500 Kenya shillings only. This would later give him an ownership of a motor business, A+ Motor, that holds in excess of 400 vehicles in business. Now, how this is possible, we actually don't know. And that is why on our Meet the CEO segment, we meet James Mwangi Muturi, the CEO and founder of A+ Motor, a company owned by two brothers who have lived to see the company grow in every aspect and now has employed staff of 50 and is looking forward to seize the East and Central African market in 5 years. Well, 2144 is our SMS line. I know by our intro, you're already inspired to meet Mr. Muturu. He is going to be our CEO this evening. If you have any questions, queries, suggestions, if you want to know how he started, I know his story is so actually inspiring. So 2144 is our SMS line. Stay put, but first we're going to watch our first video of today's segment before we meet the CEO himself.
A+ Motors is an automobile business venture along the busy Thika Superhighway, about 9 kilometers south of Kenyan capital Nairobi. The company is a vision of two brothers who are also the directors of the company, the Mwangis. James Mwangi Muturi is one who had no vision of owning such a venture, but according to him, this is a God-made venture. In 1994, Mwangi was a clothes seller, a business he had invested 1,500 shillings in after completing secondary school education. Having been in the business for 2 years, Mwangi bought his first second-hand car at 200,000 shillings, which he modified only to sell it later at a profit of 30,000 shillings. This was the genesis of A+ Motors.
Okay, A+ Motors, we started from a very humble beginning. Initially, me personally, as the proprietor, I was doing selling of clothes. That is in open air market.
Which year?
That is since from 1994 up to 2003 December. Later, when I was doing this business, it grew, it went up. In fact, it had started from 1,500. It went up until where I got, I was able to buy my first car. My first car, I bought it in 1996. This car, having bought it for 230,000, I did it some 2-3 adjustments and facelifting, and I was able to make my 30,000 out of the sale of that car. And that's how I started selling cars.
How Humbly started in 2005 as A+ Commercial Agency, the company was later incorporated as A+ Motor Limited in mid-2006, employing a staff of 50 and outsourcing other employment services like mechanics and car truck services.
Some of them permanent and some of them on commission basis.
Mwangi is proud to have the country's best and most talented staff, which is motivated by customer satisfaction. He has trained his staff, most of them came as car washers and mechanics, and has been nurtured within, and now they are incorporated in the administrative capacities.
Sure. Number one, what we have trained how we have trained our staff. From the guard who is in front, showing people parking. And those who don't who are not driving, showing them the way how to go and making sure they are being attended. They meet my salespeople. My salespeople, they get to understand what type of the car the client needs, for what purpose, and with what budget. So they guide them to establish the car. On establishing the car, we negotiate the price. I have empowered some of the people who, like my managers, most of them, they came washing cars. So we empower them by keeping on promoting them, training them, and also keep giving them advice. Yeah, sharing together with them and showing them there is nothing that is impossible in this world.
A+ Motors CEO has embraced Christian values in his staff, and his management style of the staff is based on Christian fellowships on daily basis.
We have a fellowship that morning and closing time, of which, in fact, most of the time I'm the one who read it. I read the prayers, I read the praises and whatever. So we start from morning by praying and worshiping God together as a team, from the lowest person to the highest person in the organization. So this keeps us together. And also we have meetings and telling them where we are going and what we want, what is our mission, what is our vision. So until from the lowest person to the highest person, they know what we want.
The need for Mwangi to venture into motor business was uncalled for, but it was informed by many people admiring his car whenever he bought one at a cheaper price and sold it at a profit. This created another interest which sounded like an opportunity to be exploited.
In fact, this one came in a good way, because even when I was selling that car, it was not that I was doing the motor vehicle or maybe selling of cars. It started like a client or a guy came and gave me an offer because of the condition of my car. So that's how I started it. So it started like, it is not something that I had arranged. And there I saw, wow, so there is something else I can do and get something. That's how it started. So it became very motivational for me. And I started from now buying cars and making like some adjustment and uplifting the standard of the car, condition, everything, and I put it for sale, and I was getting something small. Yeah, that's how it started. But there by then I was doing 1 or 2 units. Yeah, until it went up to 2004. That's when I shifted from my home area where I was doing it, and I came to Nairobi.
It came as an eye-opener for him to try something new, and now it was time for him to move to the city and professionalize his business. Currently under his stewardship, the motor company has in excess of 450 vehicles for sale, both second-hand and new ones.